100 miles away on the beautiful hillside, first brother heard fourth brother begin to cry. Fourth brother is crying, he said. Second brother looked into the distance far beyond the hills and said, "Ah, tomorrow morning they are going to drown fourth brother. No wonder he is crying." "Don't worry," fifth brother interrupted. "I will change places with him. The mighty emperor, whose whisper is like the rumble of thunder, can try to drown me as many times as he likes. Perhaps that might make him feel better." Off he went as quickly as he could and got there in half a minute, less than no time. He tiptoed past the guards to fourth brother, who was awake and waiting for him. Swiftly they switched places, and fourth brother went home. All the next day the soldiers of the two armies tried to drown fifth brother. They threw him into the deep sea, but his legs grew so quickly the water only came up to his knees. They tried throwing him into deeper water, but the deep, deep water only just reached as far as his waist. Finally, they threw him into the deepest part of the sea, but even the deepest part of the sea only came up to his neck. Waves broke under his chin. "Ah," said fifth brother, smiling happily, "how lovely and cool is the deepest sea water of all." "He is more dangerous than I imagined," muttered the splendid emperor, whose merest glance was like a flash of lightning. "He won't drown, but he might burn. Into the fire with him tomorrow morning," he commanded. When he was told his fate, fifth brother burst into tears. Far away on the beautiful hillside, first brother heard fifth brother's cries. Second brother looked right across 100 miles to the Great Wall of China. "Ah, he cried. "Tomorrow morning they are going to burn fifth brother alive. No wonder he is crying." "Don't worry," said sixth brother, afraid that seventh brother might begin to cry too. "I will take his place. The splendid emperor, whose merest glance is like a flash of lightning, can bake me all day long if he likes," he said with a shiver. "Perhaps that will make him feel better." Off he went as quickly as he could, and got there in half a minute, less than no time. He tiptoed in between the two armies, and found fifth brother, who was awake and waiting for him. So fifth brother went home, and sixth brother took his place. The next day the two armies ran backwards and forwards, bringing kindling wood, brushwood, and driftwood, and bundles of dried grass. They built such a big fire that the smoke from it drifted from one end of China to the other. But sixth brother never ever felt too hot. Basking in the heat of the blaze, he sighed with happiness. "How kind of the noble emperor to let me warm myself in his very own fire!" he cried. The noble emperor, whose slightest frown made the land shake like an earthquake, was furious. "Send for the royal archers," he ordered. "In the morning we will shoot this man full of arrows." Sixth brother burst into tears. Over the On the beautiful hillside, first brother heard sixth brother crying. Second brother, he asked, what do you see? "Ay, ya!" cried second brother, "tomorrow morning they are going to shoot sixth brother full of arrows." The brothers looked at each other. "There is nothing for it," said first brother. "We cannot leave sixth brother to die alone. We will all go to the noble emperor, whose slightest frown makes the land shake like an earthquake. He can shoot arrows through all of us. At least we will be together." The brothers started their journey to the palace, but poor seventh brother was so upset that he couldn't help crying just a little. His first tear was as big as the longest river in China, rolled into a single drop. His second tear was as big as the second longest river. Both tears were as salty as the sea. A great ocean of warm salt water swept down the road ahead of the brothers. It swept on for 100 miles.